Listen, I didn't mean to cut you off. It just happened. All right. It just
I get it. You're ableist. That's what it is. It's fine. It's fine.
I press the button. I can't stop the timer. Okay.
The comedic timing of it every single week.
It kills me. It kills me.
Yeah. It's just like he waits so specifically for someone to start talking. It's like,
exactly.
And so the secret passcode is.
How am I supposed to know when he's gonna talk? I just pressed the button. I'm like, yeah,
and then you're rich.
And
then
I get it. You're ableist. Just leave it alone. It's fine.
Perfect timing. No, it's perfect time for another episode of a gaming podcast. Episode 49, almost coming out to 52, which is be one whole year. You know, a year may have passed, but don't worry about it. We go by episode numbers, not yearly numbers.
Hey, we have enough content that if you listen to us once a week for an entire year, we got you covered.
And hopefully you have, because otherwise you're dead to me.
No, same.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's
no, speaking of something that's
going on social. That's
the soundbite right there.
If you don't listen, you're dead to me.
How it goes.
Red Dead apparently might be coming out to PC soon. That might be a little Gamescom.
I hope that happens.
Finally.
Gamescom announcement, just saying there. But before we dive into anything, Steve, just regular Steve. I guess just Steve. No, you're not just Steve. Steve, go ahead.
Oh, I see.
Me? Oh my God, I'm so scared.
I just noticed the names. Steve is Steve, and just Steve is Steve. Steve Saylor.
Yes.
I don't think I've said Steve that many times in a sense in my entire life, but all right.
I like it.
Keep going.
That sounds great.
Steve, please go ahead.
I'm doing really well. I'm tired. I was covering the whole Pixel made by Google event earlier today. I did like hands-on demos last week, wrote a whole bunch of content, did some videos, and it was exhausting. But fun nonetheless. I mean, if you're in the Google ecosystem, I'm really not. But there are a couple cool devices there that I was like, maybe Google, maybe not.
Forgetting Google makes their own phones. Like it reminds me of right? Like it makes me question like, does Microsoft still make their own phone as well?
Nope, not here. No, I wish though. I wish we could still get that or Windows phone.
Hey, I mean,
was it the flip phone? Those book one?
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
Where you could get actual achievements on it.
Hey,
right. Yeah, that's right.
Wait a minute here.
Yeah. Right. I mean, I'm still fingers crossed that that handheld is going to come out because I'd buy that instantly.
Yeah.
Do we need? Okay. You know what?
Yes.
How are you doing?
Yes. The answer is yes.
I'm doing a bit here on this beautiful late afternoon, early evening. I mean, Gamescom on the horizon. We got some potential announcements on the way. Marvel Rivals stuff coming soon. They're teasing. It's the summer gaming season still in full effect, which is awesome. And then all the big heavy hitters start to come out in the fall, which I'm really excited for.
Super excited. Just Steve.
Yeah.
Hey. You're having a class today, right?
I did. Well, I had it this morning. You were late for class, so I'm going to mark you tardy. Absent, so sorry about that.
My notes. So I have a note. I don't know what you're talking about. I have my notes.
You didn't present that to the class, so I'm sorry.
Marcel, just blame it on a DDoS attack. It's fine. Everyone does it.
Exactly.
So I've been doing this thing on my Twitch channel where I started doing it last week, where every Tuesday morning I'm going to be doing a little bit of teaching because I do miss teaching a little bit. And so last week it was basically telling the story of how I pranked 2 radio stations with bacon. This week is actually went into a little bit more educational, where I talk about how to be able to make accessible content on social media and go through all the ins and outs and how to be able to get that to work. And it was kind of a fun little lecture thing. I also this week on my stream I started playing Dragon Age Inquisition. I really I want to be able to kind of get myself prepared for Veilguard when that comes out in the fall, hopefully. So I've been told that Inquisition is sort of the most direct tie into the Veilguard. So I figured I'd start that up and put that up on gameplay. So actually, as of today, I'll have the first part of my VOD from playing Dragon Age on my second YouTube channel at Steve Saylor Plays on YouTube, and I'll be putting that up every other day. A new episode.
Very cool.
So, back to this handheld thing.
Yeah.
You can't. No, Xbox can't have a handheld until they figure out this whole Windows business here, because Windows on handhelds.
I see what you're going. The way I sort of see what would happen is by the time that they're ready to announce an actual Xbox handheld, they will also be able to announce a proper Windows mobile version of a Windows 11. This is my thinking, because they would want to expand it out to other devices, and for for those who are not in the don't have an Xbox handheld, I can see that them working with Microsoft, working with the Windows team to create a proper Windows mobile operating system and still be Windows 11, and that will also be available, or at least a better version of the Xbox app for those handhelds, so that that will work seamlessly with the Xbox.
Yeah,
that's my guess.
Okay, it's no secret. Xbox they haven't been selling that many Xboxes Series S's, right? We all know, it's no secret out there. Why would they jump into this?
Because it's an untapped market.
We can't.
Exactly. Yep.
They need to at this point. The issue isn't that it's solely that they're just not selling; it's that they're not marketing. And if they would just
that's also true.
Learn a lesson and stop doing with the Microsoft thing of we're so big we don't need to market. If they could just put out a little budget for some marketing, they would sell consoles. I guarantee it.
On a bus and driving on the highway or something. I don't know.
Plus also as well, it goes into their model, their motto that they've been going with for the past couple of years: Xbox Play Anywhere.
Yeah,
and that just adds to that MO.
Yep.
Okay. All right, you're winning me over here. But,
I mean, I would love it. I mean, personally, sure, being able to play Xbox PC games on handheld.
We're on the same field about it's Xbox and PC games. Not just gonna be strictly Xboxes on the go. Right?
Exactly. I would love to be able to play my Xbox games, the ones that are not on Game Pass on PC. I would love to be able to play those, because that's my primary console. It's the one that I install all my third parties on. It's the one I play all my Xbox Game Pass games on, and that's one. If I can have an extension of that and being able to seamlessly connect my save to the Xbox handheld so that I can take it anywhere and I don't have to stream it, it better not be a streaming device. I want it as an actual I can play play games offline. That's the ideal. I do not want a Xbox Portal. I want an actual full-on Xbox handheld console.
1000%.
Xbox Portal is the Logitech cloud. Let's just be honest here.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's pretty much what it is, right? Let's be honest.
It's not a bad device either. The Logitech G Cloud is pretty good.
I love it.
Again, it's it's a streaming only, so there's not really. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it works great. For Xbox, it works great for Steam Link. I don't mind. I don't have any issues with that. But again, you have to have a really good high-end Wi-Fi connection in order to be able to get it to work.
Yeah. What's going on with the PSVR?
It still exists. It's still there.
The update with this guy?
Yeah, that's still there. That little guy right there.
I got a little guy under here as well. Got my
turns out
in this room. Yeah.
Turns out I don't fucking need this.
Hey, that's not my fault. Okay? I just told you that
a piece of trash.
In case you didn't know, you may not need this thing.
I don't fucking need it. Turns out I didn't need it all along. Yeah, it works fine. It works totally fine without it. But only on certain graphics cards.
Certain graphics card, yes. The 20 series for NVIDIA, and then they have a range for AMD.
Yeah, so I have an AMD card. It's a 6900 XT. So it's not top line. It's basically equivalent of AMD is equivalent to the 30 series technically, and I guess the 77,000 is the 4000 series for NVIDIA. But yeah, apparently, so the way I looked into this a little bit. The way it works is that back in 2018, and between 2018 and 2022, both NVIDIA and AMD created something called Virtual Link, which allowed people to, using any VR headset, you can be able to connect to the graphics card directly. This is when they were for wired VR headsets, and it has a USB-C port that gives it not only power but also data to allow you to be able to connect to your PC, so you can be able to play VR games on your PC without having any other additional adapters or whichever. Turns out, I thought, right, I think rightfully so, PlayStation is very good at being able to lock things down where you don't necessarily, you still need their adapters to be able to get things to work. A good example, you can't get the Xbox adaptive controller to work on PlayStation because they lock it down. You can't do it. So I thought the same thing. I thought I was going to need this PC adapter. Turns out, no, I had the right kind of card. It has a USB-C port in the graphics card. I plugged it in. I did the setup. It works perfect. It works exactly as if I had the PC adapter all along. So I don't need the fucking $100 thing from Walmart. Sorry, Riley. I'm going to have to return to Walmart. But
damn, you hate to see it.
Riley will never get on this show.
This is why he was on today's episode.
Yeah, we made sure to keep him away for this.
Yeah, just a space.
I don't know. I mean, it looks great. It feels great. I don't know. Steve, you've had a little bit more actual time with the PC adapter.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what card I have on my I don't care. I just got the adapter. I plugged it in. At first I was a little shocked or surprised because I was like, oh yeah, I forgot you need the display port cord. It doesn't ship with one, so if you're just buying one, you would need to have one on hand or buy it separately. I thankfully had one just like kicking around, so I was like, okay, thankfully I can just plug this in. It's an easy process. You just have to then go into Steam, get like the free PSVR app. That's totally fine. It works seamlessly and everything. The issue that I'm finding, and Steve, maybe you're finding this, has nothing to do with the adapter. I think it works perfectly. There are some, you're foregoing a couple features and everything here. My issue is that at certain points, just through happenstance, really, I just lose Bluetooth connectivity between one or the other controller, and it's just so fucking annoying. Like I've tried to troubleshoot it. I've tried to like restart, unplug, do everything, forget the Bluetooth connection, redo it all, and
you're playing Iron Man VR, and then you suddenly just start going all the way to
I'm playing Half-Life Alex, and all of a sudden my one hand just like disconnects, and like it's just I'm like, okay, cool. I'm totally not immersed anymore. Now I'm taking this thing off more than I actually want to. It's super annoying, and I feel like I mean, I don't think that I've ever had an issue with a VR headset on my PC anytime before, whether I was testing the Meta Quest headsets before. It just seems very specific to the DualSense, or what do they call it? What are the VR ones called?
I think it literally is just the DualSense VR.
Is it? Yeah, okay. Whatever the controllers are called, it just seems very specific to that version of the Bluetooth connecting to my PC. And I don't know if other people are having this issue, but it seems like, at least on Reddit, a few are. I don't know if it's a widespread issue. Steve, have you experienced this at all?
Not the Bluetooth disconnectivity. I've had Bluetooth issues in the past sometimes with controllers on PC where Bluetooth, like if you're covering up something or it's sort of like you're blocking something, it might sort of like have a little glitch here and there. I think I had it with my Xbox controllers, but I had to get like an actual proper Xbox adapter just to be able to kind of make sure that the connection was stable. So I haven't experienced that with the Sense controllers, which I found out is the VR. That's what they're called, VR2 Sense controllers.
Thank you.
And so I haven't had any issues with it disconnecting like that. I did have an issue initially with trying to be able to set it up because you need to be able to turn on OpenXR. And you have to go through the Steam VR because you need to download the PlayStation VR 2 app on Steam. You need to go through the setup for that. Then you need to install Steam VR, and then you have to go into the settings to be able to enable OpenXR, which is what enables the PSVR 2 to be seen by Steam. And then once you do that, then you can be able to finish the setup and and everything just works fine.
Right.
Once you get through all that setup, then it works. But it's a little bit of a workaround, and it kind of makes me think that like this was just I don't know what this like why they did like why they're doing this. If they're not supporting PSVR 2 with like a gaming catalog, like, was this sort of like just a means to an end, or like, are they planning on selling this at a cheap price so they can be able to include the PC adapter so that you could basically say, oh, like, I don't understand what is the exclusive thing for having a PSVR 2 headset to work on PC other than if you have, that's the only headset you have. Great.
Well, my assumption is that adapter costs cents to the dollar for PlayStation to make, and all it is a means to, hey, we have this shipment, these warehouses full of PSVR headsets. We have to provide some sort of incentive for further sales, because it doesn't seem like anyone really cares to buy it for the PS5. So let's just give them, hey, you can play Half-Life Alyx, and
because that's the thing too.
Holding out, here you go.
Like, there's the thing too. It's like I know it's sort of deceptively like this adapter looks large, but it's not. It's like it is like this. You can fit it in the basically kind of the palm of your hand. Okay. He's gonna go grab it. Yeah, but it's not like there's really not much to it. It's just like a go between, really.
Yeah. Here it is. Just
okay,
super tiny.
There you go,
little baby.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's why I believe fully it's like it's just cents on the dollar, and I think they just want to get rid of inventory maybe. But I mean, I will say this, here's the thing, it is the most comfortable VR like headset I've ever tried. It's light, it's comfortable, it fits well on your head, like even when you like have it like tight enough so it doesn't move around when you're playing with it. Even headphones kind of fit comfortably over top of it as well. You are losing some of the functionality of the, like, you don't get any of the foveated eye tracking that the on the PS5 has. It doesn't have the adaptive triggers, which I think the adaptive triggers probably could come with an update, because it seems like that might be something that they can do through the PSVR 2 app. I mean, Rumble works, and it works like relatively okay. I didn't see any other issues, but I mean, like, I don't see any sort of other differences other than that of like features that, unless you really care about eye tracking, I don't know. It didn't. For me personally, for my vision, it didn't. Like, I couldn't really tell the difference between the two.
I was going to say as well. Like, I haven't noticed any kind of degradation in terms of the resolution or fidelity.
Yeah. It's still OLED screens, which is great.
Beautiful. Yeah. And to your point, it's super comfortable. It's super easy to just like pick up and play. I wish, obviously, now that I have two platforms in two different areas in my house that I would theoretically be using this in, it was a wireless headset. But
yeah. I mean, the cable is long enough that it does fit. Like, I can be in this room, and I'm about, like, this room is about, like, I think maybe like a 12 by 14 or something like that room, and I can walk around it pretty comfortably, still with enough slack that I'm not feeling like I'm going to get caught by the PC. So if you have a decent sized room, it'll be fine. And I don't find that the cable is like so much in the way, except when you're like kind of turning around, you can kind of feel it, but you can just kind of quickly adjust to it. It'd be better if it was wireless for sure, but and you can't unfortunately disconnect the USB cable. So even if they did all of a sudden unlock it, like, or created like a wireless adapter, you still need it's literally hardwired into the headset itself. So it's fine. It is what it is. I'm excited because I want to actually play more VR content, but I was waiting for like a really nice comfortable headset, and that was basically it. So I will say, though, I probably wouldn't recommend buying it unless it's at a cheap price, because it's still in that $500-$600 range for the headset itself. Oh. And it's like you can get literally a Meta Quest 3. It's wireless, and you actually get a game with it for the same price.
Yep.
Yeah.
So not exactly the fully worth it.
At this moment, no.
I'm just looking at Yeah, I mean, it's giving more options for those who have it, at least, and like, do you see like the games coming out to PC, I guess, or
no?
I think someone's kind of very happy. Because right now PlayStation doesn't have any exclusive VR games. Like, Horizon Call the Mountain is kind of it.
Gran Turismo.
Gran Turismo,
that's a VR mode for Gran Turismo. That's not even like you can play the game without having a VR headset for that. So that's kind of it, which is sad because PlayStation, it just feels like that they I don't know whether they rushed this thing or they felt like they needed to have the tap somehow on the VR market. Like, I don't understand what was their move in this if they knew they're not going to be making any VR games for it. Everything else is in the library are all games you can get on either MetaQuest or Steam.
Yeah, it was definitely an error but an unforeseen error, because I definitely think that they saw the success of PSVR, saw the boom of like Meta getting involved in VR and everything, and they're like, greenlight the second headset, go. And it took, I think, 7 years for them to develop and produce, and then and then at a certain point, Jim Ryan stepped in. And he's like, no, absolutely not. No, we are cutting all of this out like it's a cancer. Like, we're just not doing this anymore. And
they got mad at Camouflage for leaving them because they made Iron Man for PSVR, and then they would left to go to MetaQuest to do Arkham. So I'm like, all right, fine, yeah.
the only thing I really hope, in talking about like specific games coming over, is that now a studio like Capcom will be incentivized to be like, oh, let's do Resident Evil like for VR for PC. I think that would be the only great repercussion of PlayStation investing in this space, is now like, they'll be like, oh, well, people who have the headset can play it on PC. Why not just port the game over to Steam or something like that? I think that would be the best.
Because it's on MetaQuest now. I think, so I know you can play it in VR, so I that'd be great if it was ported to PC too.
But I thought the remake was getting a VR mode as well. Resident Evil 4 remake.
No, there is it's that, but it's only on the MetaQuest, and it's only on PlayStation PS5. It's not available on PC proper yet.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, I know they did the original one, and I think that was like the Facebook, the MetaQuest only one version of it. So that's why, Cool.
I'm curious. There's some games I'm kind of curious to play. So I'll check it out more, and we'll see.
Yeah. Well, hopefully one of those games could be Hi-Fi Rush, which has been saved by our good friends of Krafton.
The revival.
The revival. I don't think. Was there another studio has ever done like this has ever happened to? I guess Telltale.
I think the only one that I can think of off the top of my head, but even I don't know if there's ever been like a specific circumstance like this, but like Telltale had like a comeback in some way, right?
Toys for Bob did something similar, but like a very adjacent timeline where they just departed from Microsoft, and they're like, we'll still work with you in some capacity, but This is the entire thing of like why this news is so weird and kind of frustrating, is that if this was the end goal and the end result of it all, why didn't Microsoft just let them leave?
Yeah.
Why would they not
sell them off to whoever?
Go independent.
Yeah. Like just sell them off to whoever.
Instead, they're like, no, actually, we're going to shut down our one of our most successful studios, beloved studios, cherished studios with an awesome IP, and take all the bad will and on the chin right now at a time when you're already in a losing console war. It's so frustrating that Microsoft would do this to themselves and just bungle up the messaging. I don't understand. It
makes me wonder.
But I'm stoked.
Yeah, it makes me wonder. I don't know. I keep we've all heard the stories, or at least the rumors of it just doesn't it logically doesn't make any sense based on the public knowledge of what we know.
Yeah,
which makes me think that either there's something just weird with Tango and Xbox, like some sort of weird relationship there.
Sure. That's the thing, because like you said, already when the studio was shut down, when we heard of that news, we were all kind of questioning it based on some quotes, some tweets, and just the overall verbiage around that studio leading up to that point. It already to us was like, this just you're saying 1 + 1 = 3 here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then now with this, hearing that Tango is being revived, it makes it even more confusing for all the things that we just mentioned. If we were potentially going to have another studio bring them back to life, why wasn't it that Microsoft just said, you know what, instead of just shutting you guys down completely, at least we can turn some form of a profit out of this, right? Like, let's just bring some kind of revenue in and sell off the company to whoever, right? I don't know. I'm very confused, and I agree with you, Steve. That maybe something I don't know. Maybe there's just something happening there behind the scenes that we don't know about. I don't want to make any assumptions.
Because that's the thing too. Tango, I mean, it's owned by Bethesda, which is owned by ZeniMax, which is owned by Microsoft, which makes me think that there's probably a lot more filters down the road as to why. I'm thinking it's probably more maybe internally at Bethesda than necessarily like Xbox Global, because Xbox, at least with Bethesda, had kind of been a little bit more hands off, except for when they said they made that mistake with Redfall, but it like even still, it's just that it makes it seem as if like I have a feeling that basically Bethesda wanted to get rid of them, and Xbox was just left holding the bag. Like that's what makes me, and they can't say anything about it.
I think that plays into it because we do know that, especially when it came to layoffs and stuff like that, Bethesda still was operating as its own kind of siloed thing, where it was okay if we're going to start cutting the studios, cutting talent and stuff like that. It is just within the Bethesda kind of category. So, and I also wonder if it has something to do with Tango being in Japan and just not working well with the company culture of Bethesda, stuff like that. And maybe, hey, and we also know that the studio leads left, before the closure and stuff like that. So I think it maybe, if anything, it really did come down to, it's just this mountain of circumstances. It all added up to, hey, we're going to let these people go, shut down the studio. And maybe Krafton came up to the Tango and was like, hey, we'll fund a Hi-Fi Rush sequel if you guys can, deliver a pitch to Microsoft and get them to work with the IP and stuff like that. I'm also very interested if Krafton will be able to kind of strong arm some sort of Evil Within 3 out of them, or Ghostwire Tokyo 2.
Well, that's what I was kind of curious about, because here in like the article from IGN is that they acquired Tango and the Hi-Fi Rush IP from Xbox.
Right.
So what does that leave for Evil Within and like those like
that's a good question too. I don't know. I would love for this not to just be like we're doing more Hi-Fi Rush, but also for it just to be like any other future plans that Tango had in the chamber are also on the table again. Like
Well, I do know that John Johannes, who was the director for Hi-Fi Rush and also for the Evil Within 2, is back at Tango. He did come back to for this, so
great,
which is great. And I know that the Hi-Fi Rush, from what I'd heard, was basically like his kind of brainchild, and they just let him basically kind of create this little mini project that essentially kind of turned into what it was. So, I've heard many good things about him. So I'm hoping that maybe he might be sort of the turn into basically the head of Tango proper. And
for as much speculation as we have just surrounding like how we got to this point, I think the bottom line is that I don't want to speak for everyone, but I'm very excited that this happened. You know what I mean? Like Hi-Fi Rush,
100%,
as we've noted, right? Like such a good game, shadow dropped game. We all love it. Like it was even like it's gotten awards claim, right? Like it won awards at the Game Awards. So like it pretty much, by all accounts, maybe except for just like the raw sales and stuff, like it is a very successful game that people hold in high regard. And so the fact that we're going to get more of that makes me happy. You know what I mean? Like that was such a creative game made with passion, came out of nowhere, so out of left field. And I want more. And I'm glad that we've seen the studio get revived now. Like I said, the only thing that the cherry on top would be that it's not just Hi-Fi Rush. We got all these other things that Tango was previously working on that they get to now continue to work on.
Yeah, that'd be great. I will. I don't know how many people like Ghostwire Tokyo, but like I would love to see another one of those as well.
I think a follow up with a bit more.
It was a great game.
It had potential, right?
Yeah, it just seemed like it was content light, right? Like that was the kind of the main issue.
Thing. Yeah, like it had some of the mechanics there to make for like a really awesome game. It didn't like hit to those levels for me, but like I thought it was solid, and I do think that there's like a foundation there for if they wanted to do a follow up, it could be something really special.
Yeah, I think it suffered only because it was, hey, we have all these cool mechanics, we have this cool atmosphere and story, but now we have this open world that we just kind of have to pad out with the usual collectathon kind of bullshit that's not really all that engaging. And to me, that was my main takeaway was after 40, 50 hours, I was like, there's a solid, really good 20 hours, just padded out by 30 hours of stuff I didn't really care about.
And I think as well, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but because kind of going on to the Krafton side, because I had to like look into like, okay, what is the studio? I mean, they are famously known for they run PUBG, and then they also was a studio backing was it called is it Stillwater, like the folks who make the Callisto Protocol, and I had heard I had heard a story that Krafton had tried to rush Callisto Protocol out. And that's why I felt like the game was rushed. But I mean, I've heard that a lot in studios. Like, it's not necessarily like an unknown. Like,
I don't think that's exclusive.
Exclusive. Yeah.
This, right?
But also, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if anyone's read it or not. They never disclosed how much they bought the studio for. They just said that they're reviving it. Yeah, so it makes me think that they don't care about the money. Like they care about, bringing the studio back, and basically, at some point they will make money when they find, like, because of the pedigree of the studio. So it makes me think that
catalog,
exactly that's what they're looking for, is that they can basically, they're gonna have like great games under the catalog, and then Xbox is gonna get their cut if they continue to keep making Hi-Fi Rush games. So
I'm just looking at
PUBG
the
mobile money, so let's just be
honest.
That's
also true.
Do you think though, like, is it going to be like almost embarrassing if we get a Hi-Fi Rush 2 that obviously like comes to all platforms and it's releasing on Xbox, and like Xbox has to tweet and promote it and like market it in some way?
Be like chef's kiss.
It's gonna be like that scene from The Boys with like Huey on the red carpet and Homelander's there.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
It's basically gonna be one of those situations.
Going back to the studio talk though, like I'm just looking at everything Krafton owns, and they own probably more than 10 subsidiary studios, including Tango right now, and realistically only 3, including Tango at this point, are of any real like consequence or that we would even know of. So to me, it really does seem like, hey, they saw potential in the IP itself. They wanted Hi-Fi as something in under their repertoire, but I think it's just fascinating that they were able to swoop in, acquire that talent. But I'm curious if they'll continue to operate under Tango. Has that been confirmed at all, or are they just kind of acquiring the studio's bones?
I think it's just they got the whole studio. They got the IPs and
they got the IP in the studio.
And the studio. Yeah, I only asked because again, we just don't know how much they acquired Tango Gameworks for. So I just wondered if it was kind of like, oh, they disbanded, but we're kind of just bringing everyone.
Name only. I don't think so, because as far as I understand, I've been seeing quite a few people saying that they're going back. So I just basically I think the ultimate good thing about this is that for those who were working at Tango that got laid off, that are still looking for work, if they're able to get their jobs back, or at least even a better job than they previously had, that's great. And for those who couldn't be able to get, go back, or if they decide, basically whoever wants to go back to Tango has the opportunity to do so. That's the main ultimate great goal out of this, regardless of whether or not we're going to get a Hi-Fi Rush 2 or, Ghostwire Tokyo 2 or Evil Within 3, whatever it is that they want to create. I just like to be able to see those people get their jobs back.
Yeah. I'm hoping they're able to use those IPs. I don't know who owns those IPs, because this is the fact that they specifically said that they picked up Hi-Fi Rush IP. It just makes me wonder, like, okay, what about Ghostwire and Evil Within? I just hope that
my understanding,
maybe they can just work along with Xbox the same way how Xbox is working on with Toys from Bob.
The way it's sort of read to me was that it was kind of like they have their IP, which includes Hi-Fi Rush. Like, it's like that's how it sort of was. Like, I don't know, like you may be right. It could be that they just don't have the other rights for the other games, but Hi-Fi Rush, yes.
Could also just be that like Hi-Fi Rush is like the hot topic surrounding Tango right now, specifically because like there were all these supposed plans for the future of that and it becoming like a franchise.
They were saying that they were working on
their most recent game, so it's like the Hi-Fi Rush guys are now under this studio. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't be surprised.
There was also reports of them saying that they were working on the sequel.
Yes, exactly. Right. So like that's probably, it's just like the thing that's hot off the press right now. I wouldn't be surprised if all those other projects are coming with Tango.
I'm sorry to burst your bubble. I'm reading it right now. They Krafton did confirm they do not own Evil Within or Ghostwire.
No, plumber. Show canceled. I'm out of here.
Oh, damn it!
That sucks. That actually is really, really unfortunate. So
Krafton is quote. Krafton is acquiring only the Hi-Fi Rush IP and the development staff of Tango Gameworks. So it doesn't even. To me, it doesn't even sound like they're acquiring Tango, the name. It's just their staff and the IP.
Yeah, and then just putting them under some other development studio, you think?
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? Really they still could potentially get the rights. It just could take longer because of the legal whatever. But I mean,
Xbox could approach them and be like, "Hey, would you like to make this?" You know?
Yeah, they got the team to do it. So
yeah.
It's gonna be
That's super unfortunate.
I was just gonna say the thing with Evil Within, like I would love an Evil Within 3 and everything, but the fact that they don't have Mikami working at the studio anymore and he's already doing Slitterhead or whatever the hell that game is. At this point, I'm not super disappointed because then it's like, okay, now we're trading hands so much for an IP of a survival game that is so bred by a single person's vision that it would just be kind of like this bastardized game. I feel, anyways, by the end of it. So I don't know.
Yeah,
is it weird? Am I the only one that basically confuses Evil Within with Dying Light?
Yes, well, sometimes
I get confused by which is which.
Yeah. The covers are pretty
similar-ish. Yeah. Because they're both zombie games, right? I'm not wrong in that, right?
No. Evil Within's like not.
Is it like vampire-ish?
It's just like psycho shit, you know?
Oh,
it's just like real depression.
It's crazy people, you know?
Okay, so
personified. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Okay, great. Okay, never mind then. All right. I don't know why I get those two confused at times, but because actually, funny story, like when Dying Light 2 was coming out, I was interviewing I think his name is Jonah, the guy who does the voice of the main character in Dying Light 2. I had to like purposely look up basically look up the names of the two just to make sure that I didn't say accidentally Evil Within when I was talking to him.
Great, Evil Within.
Yeah, exactly. So I was just like, I had to basically make sure that I didn't screw it up, but thankfully I didn't. So
that's like me anytime I talk to Obsidian, and I'm always like, they didn't do Outer Wilds, they did Outer Worlds. I'm like, I'm freaking out.
Yeah. It's gonna be really interesting whenever Hi-Fi Rush 2 comes out as well, because it's not gonna be locked to Game Pass. I feel like it might have a lot,
and I wonder,
how to have a lot more sales.
Yes. I think like now the game has come to PlayStation as well. A lot more people have been able to get their hands on it, and I do agree. Like when we get to a Hi-Fi Rush 2, it not having to worry about being locked to Game Pass, it being able to release potentially multi-platform day one. I really wonder what that looks like in terms of how it performs sales-wise, and if maybe that was that little key that was yet to be unlocked for that game's potential.
Did that remember how they were like before the PlayStation version came out, there was like a blue shirt, the red shirt. Did that stuff ever come out? The blue shirt ever come out for the PlayStation version?
I think so. I think it was like an in-game thing.
I think that was that was an in-game thing, but I think that was more rumored than anything, because there was that rumor of the red shirt for Nintendo, but they never announced it for Nintendo. So
well, not yet. It was maybe
there's an asset sitting in that game just waiting. He's like,
because here's the thing. What's funny is that we haven't heard like any new rumors or anything new about whatever the Switch 2 is going to be for a while.
Yeah,
you think we might get something? Do you think we might get something Gamescom way?
I think Tokyo.
Oh, you think Tokyo?
Oh yeah.
If anything, it would probably be something at Tokyo.
Yep.
Because they'd have to announce it like in the fall, right? If it's going to be released early next year,
I think like an October event. At very least, yeah.
Well, they do September directs, right?
They do September directs, yeah. But
and they're usually pretty big ones.
You're right, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So okay, all right. It's just interesting. We haven't there hasn't been a fever pitch lately of Switch 2 stuff lately, and I'm like,
I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that.
Don't get them started.
I'll start them. I'll start them now.
People were like, "What?" People,
what I heard? I heard the color's gonna be black. There we go. Yeah. That's the new rumor.
Clip it.
Yeah.
Someone changed the coding on the website. It means something. They're like, yeah.
We're hitting the headlines now.
Some sort of description somewhere, like Red Dead Redemption coming to PC.
There you go.
That's right. Speaking about Gamescom, any predictions? Going on predictions?
I honestly don't know. I didn't want to get my hopes up for Summer Game Fest, and I feel like that was the right choice to make. I'm going to do the same thing for Gamescom's opening night live. There's a couple of things that they talked about that are going to happen that I'm looking forward to, and that's all that I'm just going to maintain my hype for. Yeah, Marvel Rivals being one of them. I mean, the Marvel Rivals Twitter page, let me find the tweet here in a second. They tweeted out because Jeff Keighley kind of announced it officially on Tuesday, August 20th. This cool little graphic of Black Panther with Bast. I think what's happening here, because they teased this in a previous trailer, like this whole like cosmic area that's related to Black Panther. Oh boy, somebody's
Sorry, that's mine. I
hope everything's all right there. I hope everything's all right there.
Coming.
Yeah,
Nintendo's getting really mad now.
Yeah, there you go.
Doug Bowser just set fire to this guy.
What did you say about
And he said happy birthday to me once. What the hell, Doug?
So they tweeted out that graphic of Bast and Black Panther, and they've been teasing this for a little while. I think it's a new stage they're going to be showcasing for Marvel Rivals. But they did quote this tweet from Jeff Keighley from the official Marvel Rivals social media saying, "Don't miss out on new heroes, plural, and surprises, plural. Watch ONL on August 20th for all the details." And then there was also a mention that you can join them at Gamescom for hands-on demos. And apparently content creators and media will be invited to share their exclusive insights and feedback. I haven't heard anything. I don't know if any other members of media have heard anything regarding Marvel Rivals just yet. But hopefully it's going to be jam-packed full of some pretty big surprises here. Them saying that there's going to be, during this trailer or whatever they're showcasing on August 20th, new heroes and surprises. That to me gets me a little amped, because I'm going into this normally expecting, okay, maybe they'll show like one or two, right? But they're really like hyping it up like maybe there's going to be a slew of new reveals, and maybe Gamescom is finally going to be the place where they're like, all right, the game comes out on this day, open beta on this day. Like, here's all these new characters that you can get excited for.
I think that's the main thing.
That's what I think a lot of people are expecting. Yeah,
I think that's the main thing I'm expecting from Gamescom is like solidification of due dates.
Yes,
or like release dates, because I don't think we're going to get anything like brand new. Would never expect it. We might get one or two in there, but if we can get like solidified release dates, especially because they are showing off Indiana Jones, we don't know what that due date or what the release date is. So
that's true.
I think that like especially for ones that are coming out in the fall that we don't know about, that's why I'm hoping Xbox. Hey, don't be stingy on those release dates.
Hey, they got 50 games there as well, or something.
Yeah, they got a huge booth.
It's a pretty long list. Yeah. I mean, no, there's a lot of things to look forward to. Honestly, I think from ONL, just from what they've already officially announced, and I mean, there's that graphic that we're talking about.
That's cool.
That
this is a stage
trailer,
here, that's not. Be
awesome. Hell yes. That cinematic trailer they did at San Diego Comic-Con was awesome. I'm so in love with the art style for this game. I think they're doing such a good job, which is the presentation of it all. And like the alpha for me I was really impressed with how polished it was. The beta performance was pretty solid. I had a couple of frame rate hiccups here and there when there was a lot of effects happening on screen at once. But for the most part,
Doctor Strange's portal.
Portal.
You always know what's up there. You're like, oh, the game's slowing down. Someone has a portal.
Portal. Yeah, I know. That's definitely one of the culprits. But yeah, the game is like it plays so well. I am really, really in love with this game and what they're doing with it. As long as it gets the right support, as long as there's a good amount of content that they release in a steady amount of time after launch, this could be like it really could be the Overwatch killer. I know sometimes people will like throw out terms like that a little loosely.
I think
it's really fair in this case. A lot of the Overwatch community, from what I have seen, being on the outside, are kind of fed up with the game. They have a lot of issues with it. They're having a lot of problems, especially with Overwatch 2. They're thinking some of the balancing changes. It's all not what the community wants. And a lot of those players, those people who play Overwatch like religiously, are going over to Marvel Rivals and saying, this is what we've been waiting for, and this is a perfect opportunity for NetEase to really swoop in, grab that audience, reel in all the Marvel fans, and bring in just new people who want to check out a multiplayer Marvel game. This has the chance to be a massive, massive game, which is why we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. I can't remember who it was on here that said it, but that's why I do think it's coming out this year, and why I do think that it might hit before that deadline ends for games to be eligible for the Game Awards, because there's a very real chance this is nominated and maybe even wins Best Multiplayer Game this year.
Sure,
it's possible. I mean, like, what are the other games that it would go up against? I think like Concord.
It would go
Concord
to
Helldivers.
Yeah.
Yeah, could be a good category if it's Concord, Helldivers, and Marvel Rivals. That'd be cool.
That's a tough.
Because 2KXO isn't coming out this year, right? Like they've.
I don't think so.
Yeah, so that's the only if I think like multiplayer, like other multiplayer game I could think of. Maybe I don't know. Yeah, I think that'd be cool. I just X-Defy, right? Yeah, I just think
game's wicked. I love that game.
Yeah, I just think I would just be more. I just think like it'd be cool to be able to get a release date in more for Marvel Rivals. Like I'm basically at this point, especially for Rivals, I don't need any more trailers. I just want the game. Like you don't need to keep trying to sell me on it. Yeah. I'm already interested. It's like a movie, like going to go see a movie. Like I don't need to see any more trailers. Just let me see the movie.
Honestly, it's hit death loop peak for me of like I just don't want to see any more of this. Like I'm so sick of it. I just want the game to be out at this point.
Yeah. Release date. I'm ready to go.
I get it.
More heroes,
I get
honestly.
it. The only thing, is I'm just excited for more new character reveals because Thor didn't necessarily hit for me the way that I wanted him to in the beta, but it's like my biggest compliment to Marvel Rivals is it's like every character plays how I would think that Marvel character would work in a third-person shooter. You know, like Thor plays how I'm like, if Thor were in a third-person shooter game, this is kind of how I think Thor should work. You know what I mean? Iron Man plays that way. Hulk, Spider-Man, Venom, all of them really work well. They're honoring these Marvel characters in such a good way. And it's kind of surprising how in most cases, like an Overwatch character could totally be re-tinkered to be a Marvel theme thing, it opens the floodgates for so many different opportunities in the future. We're definitely going to get characters like the heavy hitters in the Avengers. We're still missing out on like Captain America, Hawkeye, but I also wonder, those A-listers, Wolverine, Deadpool, like, are they going to join the game? And then you have obscure characters too. Like they threw in Jeff in there, which I thought was super fun.
Freaking Jeff and the goddamn Jeff players.
Jeff, the baby land shark.
When you're trying
protect him at all costs.
You're trying to claim a spot, and a Jeff on my team gobbles me up and threw me off the map.
That's
and
right.
we lost because of that. No, Jeff.
That's what my boy Jeff does. No, but like it's awesome, really cool. Like it's really cool when they have like obscure characters like that. There's a great honor for like the comic books too. Alternate suits that are from comics will say
even
what
the lore details
comes
of
out
like
from.
stories. Like some stories haven't been unlocked yet. There's a lot, like a lot of rich
what would
history.
Send this into the stratosphere for me. I shouldn't expect it. I shouldn't even request it because I know it's not going to happen. But just some sort of PvE story-based thing would be like, oh, now this is like 10 out of 10. Now this is like one of the most fun Marvel games.
You want this game to come out this year? You're not getting that.
Yeah, right.
So apparently, I don't know if anyone saw that Jeff Keighley tweeted up apparently 3 hours ago. He said the games that are confirmed for Gamescom opening night live next Tuesday are Call of Duty Black Ops 6.
Well, I got it all right here.
Oh, sweet. Okay, cool.
All 128 games. Little Nightmares, Starfield Shattered Space, Indie, Dragon Ball. Looking forward to that one. They just released some new information. Unknown 9 Awakening, made by some Canadians, for those who didn't know.
Nice.
Right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, like, for opening night live, though, not necessarily for Gamescom proper. Because
go ahead.
So Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Monster Hunter Wilds, Marvel Rivals, Dune Awakening, Indiana Jones, and Civ 7. They say are going to be in opening night live. So
yeah,
there you go.
Why is Forza in there? 5 Horizon.
Don't know.
I think there's a DLC content drop or something.
Oh, okay.
Flight Simulator.
Yeah, but wouldn't that be Forza Motorsport? No, actually, they do still update Forza Horizon. Yeah, that's true. By the way, the fire alarm is still technically going off. I just have the capability of turning it off, but I'm totally
fine. Is there an actual fire? Like,
yeah, we're hoping you're all right.
You don't have to be this dedicated.
No, here's the thing about what's great about my apartment is that literally the stairwell is out like this behind this wall here. It literally would take me 5 seconds to go outside if there was an actual fire. So I'm just not, and I'm on the ground floor, and literally, like, sometimes the fire alarm goes off, and it's just like some like stove fire that they just can't turn off the fire alarm, and they have to come and manually turn it off. Yep. So it's a whole thing. So I may have to like turn it off. So if you hear it go off again, I just have to get up and just turn it off. So it's fine. I'll be fine.
Right, as long as there's no fire in the corner, like I just want to finish this one final thought before I had to run out the room.
BRB.
Yeah. But yeah, I like. It looks like it's gonna be a solid show. I know we're gonna be checking it out. Super excited to be checking out the show.
I'm gonna miss the live watch with you guys.
Yeah, it's a standard. Why is that?
Hey, hopefully you catch me on the camera. You know when they pan to the crowd. You know,
as long as you don't run on stage, I'll be happy. Okay?
I was gonna make a joke about it, but I was like, maybe I shouldn't. You know, just
then you'll end up on the watch list.
Yeah, just in case like the right person is watching. Maybe I shouldn't make a joke about it. Yeah. Jeff, I will remain seated throughout the entire show, the 3-hour plus show.
Unless there's Spider-Man DLC, and then you'll be standing clapping.
Oh, no, then I'm going to be losing my mind, Jeff. Okay, then I'll be the loudest one in the room.
No, Jeff's going to have a security. Like, you've got pretty decent security on there.
I think finally, after like, 3 instances of it happening, we finally reached the point where we're like, okay, no one's going to make it onto that stage anymore.
Yeah, I was surprised, too, that no one tried to attempt to do anything at Summer Game Fest. I was kind of like, with all the amount of people that were
we were all like, what's happening this year?
Exactly, yeah.
No, because everyone knew we were in the room, so like they were super scared. That's what I thought.
I mean, here's the thing. Like, I was sitting so close, I literally could have crawled up on stage and no one would have said a thing.
Oh my God!
Oh no,
Jeff, you got to watch out for Steve.
No, I'm kidding. I like my spot near the front.
Back to the room. Come on,
Steve, in the back.
Steve, shut up, guys.
I got the screens for you, buddy. Get out of here.
I love it.
PlayStation is confirmed to be there though, right? Or
no, PlayStation is skipping out on Gamescom this year. I think,
but they're going to be at Tokyo Game Show. I think, right?
That's right.
They got a big thing at Tokyo apparently.
I think PlayStation's just holding out, man. They're staying real quiet. September is probably the month. Big showcase incoming, and I know that Insomniac recently sort of tweeted and it was kind of seemingly shutting down the prospect of Spider-Man 2 DLC being a thing, but I think it's still happening, and I think it's going to be. Listen,
I respect your resilience.
Okay, yeah. I think it's gonna okay. If we go back to God of War Ragnarok, that was a game we all didn't expect to have DLC. A game where the developers and the creative director was saying, we don't have current plans for DLC for this game. And that was just flat out them saying, it's not happening. You know what I mean? And even then, they surprised us with something pretty substantial at the end of the day. Yeah, it was a roguelite. Not that it had like major cutscenes or was this massive expansion, but it was DLC. For God of War Ragnarok
PC, by the way.
And there you go. And so and that was a situation of we were there live in the audience at the Game Awards. Here's the trailer. It's out in a week. And I think that's almost exactly what we're going to see happen if Spider-Man 2 does have DLC coming out this year. We get the PlayStation showcase, maybe even opens the show or something like that. Here's the like one new mission or like a new little side mission chain. Jump in, it's out now. You know what I mean? Like something like that, I think it is fully like still on the table, you know? Because
I mean, you're right. They have precedence for it. They did that with Ragnarok and Valhalla.
There's just no way with 11 million copies sold with all the awards, acclaim, and all that. Like, there's no way Sony goes to Insomniac's like, all right, fine, you can work on your next game. You know what I mean? They're like, no. The DLC, come on. We need more. We need more.
We're still waiting for Wolverine.
We are. Wolverine's still on the way.
Maybe that might be it. Maybe they just dedicated those resources to Wolverine instead of the.
They could have, but it's a big studio. You know,
what if the DLC is actually just the Venom game?
I could see that too. I can see because I mean the lead writer was hinting before the game came out that they're basically going to listen to the fans and hear what they want to say about a Venom game.
Didn't they say that there was more lines that Tony Todd recorded for Venom?
Yeah. Tony Todd
gave it all away.
Yeah, Tony Todd was like, "There's like 80% of what I recorded that's not in this game."
Yeah.
So like, I could very well see a scenario where they were like, this expansion's just getting bigger and bigger. Why don't we just make it its own game? And then that turns into like a Venom game or whatever it might be. But I still also firmly believe like there's something in terms of additional content that's coming to Spider-Man 2. Like there's just got to be something in the works because there's no way. And here's the reason why. they'll have like, this has happened on multiple occasions now. They'll have like these tiny little bugs where it's like, it'll take 2 seconds probably. I mean, I'm not a game developer, so maybe not actually, but I imagine it's not a lot of work to fix like the Raimi suit's logo on the back. Sometimes is like floating off his back, you know? And they take really long to implement some of these fixes. And I'd have to imagine that it's because they're working on something for this game. And it's just like, just throw in that patch as a part of this. You know what I mean? And that's why every time when you get New Game Plus, here's all these bug fixes. When we get those celebrity suits added to the game, okay, here's also these bug fixes. You know what I mean?
Especially where they don't have to pay for the PlayStation. Like, I know every time you have the update on console size, you had to pay like whatever fee there is.
I didn't even know that, and that's more evidence to exactly what I'm trying to say.
That's a good point. Right? That's a really good point.
I know. I remember with Xbox, they were like, wherever consoles, like, because it's easy to just patch it on PC because PC's like, yep, here we just upload it, it's ready there. Yeah. But like consoles usually take longer for that reason because they and everything. But I don't imagine Insomniac have to pay for a PlayStation.
Maybe not, as a PlayStation owned studio. Yeah. But even still, it's just I know I got my tinfoil hat nice and firm on my head right now. I know like it's like radioactive levels of copium, no doubt about that. I fully acknowledge it, and I'm fully ready to be let down if we reach the end of this year with no Spider-Man DLC. But I have like one tiny sliver of hope, and it's mainly because of how things went down for God of War Ragnarok.
There's going to be a Spider-Man announcement that it's coming out to PC this fall.
No,
we're still waiting. Still waiting.
That's definitely not happening
this fall.
I've given up hope that that's actually going to happen, considering the fact that God of War Ragnarok is coming out to PC this year first, and I'm like, okay, fine.
September. What's going on for November?
That's right. God of War Ragnarok is going to sell so much, and
they never done a 2 in the same year. That's the one thing they haven't done.
Yes, they have.
No, not that close together.
Well, not that close, but they've done 2 in a year.
When?
Now I'm wondering who did I pass the copium over to you, Marcel? It seems like
no. It's coming out for PC because they want money.
I'll ship you my tinfoil hat. Okay.
They want
it'll be express shipping. It'll get there tomorrow. Okay.
It's coming out November. Announced at Gamescom by Jeff. Watch Jeff in his sneakers. We'll announce it. Just so you know.
I don't know. I feel like the
dream you're in at some point.
I don't know. That's why. That's why I'm
giving you Spider-Man content, man. I'm just letting you know. I'm giving you at least Spider-Man content. Everyone else is like, that's not coming out. At least I'll give you a Spider-Man games coming out. You can't even be on my side for this. Wow.
As much as I would like for it to happen, it's just not happening, Marcel.
There's nothing. There's no DLC. There's nothing.
You realize, Aaron, you're just now feeding all your haters, basically being like, Aaron said it's not happening.
Bring it.
Take everything out of context, you jerks.
Show me what you got. Exactly.
Any other predictions for Gamescom, I guess?
Nothing else.
I got nothing.
I really have.
I'm excited that it's happening. So that's all.
I'll throw one out.
Expect much.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. No, and it's nothing major or anything, but we're still waiting on Liza P DLC. So I'll throw that one to Jeff.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think little things like that totally fit well into a show like this. I don't know if I have any sort of predictions that are like on that scale.
You think Kojima is going to be skipping TGS and going straight to Gamescom this year?
No, I doubt it.
It's his button.
Again, I feel like by this point, like Jeff would have hyped it up even just a tiny bit. You know,
True.
I also feel like if Kojima's going to do anything, he would wait for the PlayStation showcase because that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Or Game Awards. I feel like even TGS,
he has an Xbox game, so
that game's not coming out for another 5 years, Steve. I'm sorry.
I know, but hey, think about it this way: Xbox has their biggest booth.
Yeah.
Like it's possible. I agree with you.
Kojima will not be in that booth.
Would you settle for a Kojima appearance virtually?
Yeah,
what's he doing?
And some more mocap footage.
More people yelling at your face.
Again,
Jordan Peele walking out of the door.
This is why I think it's plausible that he might have something, because we've never really fully confirmed Like he never fully confirmed that this is my Xbox game. Whatever that one that I can't remember the name of it. The one they did with Jordan Peele at the Game Awards.
OD.
Yeah. So he never was said on stage that it was the Xbox game, and I could see him basically having another teaser trailer and doing maybe an interview at the Xbox, because they're doing streaming all the days of Gamescom at the Xbox booth. I can see him basically popping up as an interview, a virtual interview here and there, like if he's going to be there or if he's not going to be there in person. So. That's what I'm saying. It's possible. Do I believe he's going to be there or actually going to be able to be doing something? No. Like I think Jeff would have said something by now, or at least Kojima's like basically like trying to sneak in and just not let Jeff know. But I don't know. I think I'm saying it's possible. Not saying it's going to happen, but
yeah,
just throwing it out there.
Yeah. Food for thought.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that being said, Steve, what's going on for the rest of the week?
Oh my goodness, I don't really know. I not too much. It's not too exciting. I mean, I'm looking forward to the light week now. Yeah, super light week. Yeah, nothing really. I'm just kind of looking forward to Concord coming out, Astrobot coming out. There's some pretty big games on the near horizon that I'm looking forward to.
Astrobot.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Vacation's
once those start coming
over.
out,
That's it.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it's all hands on deck for playing games now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Caboose?
Yeah, nothing much. Just I'm heading to Gamescom. So I'm excited for that. Never been to Germany, so I'm really excited to check it out for the first time and just check out Gamescom for the first time. But outside of that, I'm also really looking forward to Astrobot and definitely want to jump in and give Concord another try and see what it's all about. And just to see as well what kind of the general consensus will be about the full launch now. But that's it. I'm hyped to check out Open Night Live and see all these announcements and some of the things that may surprise us. And then I am going to keep playing Fortnite because I'm enjoying it again these days. And that new Marvel season looks awesome. So I'm just excited for that.
Hell yeah. And then just Steve?
Just still got a bit of content. I just put up, like I said, the video where I sort of discuss how to be able to, or teach you how to be able to create accessible content. That's up on my main YouTube channel right now, youtube.com/Steve Saylor. I've got my Dragon Age Inquisition playthroughs going up tomorrow on my second channel, at Steve Saylor Plays on YouTube. And then also the third episode of Dungeons and Disabled goes up on Thursday. Had to basically postpone for a day to have that go up. So basically tomorrow, I guess when this goes up, it'll be tomorrow night. And this one, I'm editing now, and it goes places, y'all. It's wild. Episode 3 of this campaign is just. There's stuff that I had to do as a DM that I've never had to do before, and it's gonna be worth a watch. Let's just say, So tune in for that.
All right. I know since you mentioned Concord, they just released this today. Might as well just show us off a little bit. They have a little season 1 and season 2 stuff. In April, it's gonna be season 3. It looks like as well. 6 modes, 12 maps, and 16 gunners, 8 variants as well. A lot of cool things that are coming up with. So there's the roadmap that is that's coming out for their game later on soon, right? Next week.
Wow, next week, and then October season 1. Okay.
Yeah. I think out of all of this, it's just a great confirmation that at least there's 6 months of content to look forward to, rather than what's this gonna happen? Like, what's it gonna happen? Is it gonna be DOA? Is it gonna have like limited support and then just kind of be killed off? Knowing that you got that third slide there that says April 2025, that's a good sign to me, at least.
Yeah,
I'm just worried. Listen, someone who covered Suicide Squad. Okay,
fair.
Very similar vibe of here's the roadmap. There's 4 characters for sure that we got coming post launch, and it looks like they are honoring that for Suicide Squad. But look where we're at now. You know what I mean? So I'm hopeful for exactly what you just said, but I'm also cautiously optimistic for what I'm saying.
I mean, we've seen it, like to your point, we've seen it. Plans change, plans get we don't know if at April it's like, hey, here's season 3, and by the end of it, see you later. We're moving on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Firewalk Studio is kind of act. We have no idea, but at least for the people who are investing $40 into this game,
they have something.
You're getting 6 months of content. That's
for sure.
At very least.
And relatively quick as well. Like October and January, that's a quick turnaround time where I'm still waiting for DLC for a wrestling game. Like it's like we got Pat McAfee. Thanks a lot. You know, that's anyway. As for me, I have the Twitch meetup stuff going on. Busy setting that up. On the 24th, I almost forgot what date it was. The 24th, Fan Expo Saturday. So if you want to do something for the whole day, go to Fan Expo, then guarantee yourself a seat at the Twitch Toronto meetup at Real Sports. So come on,
there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's gonna be it for us. And we'll be back next week with Gamescom. Super excited! Can't believe that. That's crazy to say. Gamescom
happening.
Jesus, it's happening. Things are happening. See you all next week, everyone.